Good evening, everybody. This is Ira Bell.
Good evening, everyone. This is Keisha Grant.
And we're on Beyond the Surface After Dark. And we're interviewing Pete France and Keisha France tonight about their loving relationship of years past. Just trying to get some insight on, the beginning things that happened in the beginning, how life transpired, and, what brought you to this point today to be the good friends that you are.
Right.
So, Keisha, we want to start out with what made you fall for Pete? What made you fall for Pete?
What made
Give
me
us all of it.
What made me fall for Pete, Lord, and
Tell us all the good stuff. All the good stuff.
well, Pete is a good guy.
Yes, he's a good guy.
He-
Tell us what
he-
made you fall for him. He's a good guy to the nation.
What made me fall for Pete was, he's family oriented. He loves the Lord, and he's business minded. He could take you from making $8 an hour to over $15,000 a month. He's a motivator. He's a pusher. He's a good daddy. He was a good husband. But he's a good guy.
Those are the good, nice, and fluffy things. What are the things that really made you fall for him? What Keisha's, your personal, how did you looked at Pete and you said, oh.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay. So what was it? What was it?
Well, first of all, Pete and I met at First Edward Style.
Okay.
Hezekiah Walker was down there. I think it was what's the other choir that used to come? Danny Easton, Hezekiah Walker, and we was up on the balcony.
Okay.
And
you didn't know each other.
no, he was standing right beside me, goofy as I don't know what. And he said, "I like the way you praise the Lord."
Oh.
And I say, "This is some corny shit."
Oh. Okay. Okay.
I might myself.
Okay.
So
then,
after that, we left. Church was good. We left, and then he gave me his business cards. He said he had hair salons and stuff like that. I didn't call him.
What'd you tell your brother?
He was corny. I said, I didn't call him. And then a year later, he came to Restoration, and he talked to Bishop Wellman. I didn't even know he knew I went to that church. But
how long ago was that? What year? I mean,
that was 1999.
1999. So you partied like it was 1999.
This is some foolishness. This is some foolishness.
What changed all of that? What changed?
What changed?
Mm-hmm. In the relationships, in the details of the relationship. What changed?
That's not my story.
For my-
That's how we met. Okay.
Okay. Do
For
we
my
want to go
dating,
to?
but that's what happened though. What was different?
I had my grandmother in the car, and I watched the whispers. What I heard. Remember that? I was driving down the street, stopped at Restoration. I wasn't going to Restoration.
No, I didn't say
So
you was
it-
going to Restoration.
I
I said you went.
visited.
Right. I said you went there to talk to Bishop.
So the first act story was something.
That was our
different.
introduction. And then
Okay.
after we met, I believe, when I walked in the church and I saw her, I was like, oh my God. And like, for me, I wasn't going to approach no young lady. Like, I wasn't going to do anything. When I walked in the church, God was like, that's your wife. I said, wife?
That's what God said.
God told you.
Which church? That was my wife. And I told her, did I not tell you that?
Yeah, he said that. He said that to Bishop Wembley T.
I said,
Really?
God told me that you're my wife.
So when did you get the vision? And when did
I didn't
you
get
catch
no
on to
vision.
it?
Ah,
How did you
prophecy.
catch on to the
I
revelation?
can't even see.
It
My
became
vision is,
reality. So when
became
did you catch
reality.
on to the revelation that you were going to be his wife?
She did.
well, I
First.
did. It took me a
You
minute.
had to
But-
because you were married.
Right, but it took me a minute. First of all, he is a very handsome guy, but he was just corny to me because I was used to dealing with street dudes.
guys.
Okay.
So he wasn't aggressive, you know.
I was more of a
He
gentleman.
was more emotional. That I wasn't used to that, and so he's a very gentle. He's a nice gentleman.
Now it gets to the juicy.
Yeah, but then we went. Where we go? I think he wanted to go to the movies, and I said no, I don't want to go to the movies. And then he started being consistent. That's what got me. His consistency. Consistency works with me.
How long were you guys married?
11 and a half years.
What made you stay so long?
Oh,
What made me stay so long was
Did you want to go back to yours?
no, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, I'm right with it.
what made me stay.
Alright.
What made me stay was that it was never a father in the household. So I wanted to had my son to experience family with a mother and father in the household.
Okay.
You can
There was only
help
one
people.
child, right?
One child. You
One
got any more kids?
biological.
I didn't take them on later, they came later, but biological child.
Yeah.
That she, no,
But you know what? Is that what you was doing?
no, I'm just playing with it. I mean, like literally, I walked in the church and I fell in love with her just being there. Like when I came into her presence, it was just something different, something special. And I had just a different situation and circumstance at that time before Keisha. And I believe before we really got to date, we sat at the kitchen table at her job and we had a real heart-to-heart talk about some core issues and what I like and what I didn't like and how would it be different with her. And I believe that I felt like honesty and transparency was key because I didn't want anybody, I wasn't even really, we weren't dating, we were dating, we were courting as they would say. And I didn't want anything negative to come to Keisha. So that's why I was very transparent about me.
But Keisha wants to save the real good stuff for another episode.
Yeah,
Right.
We don't want to
going
get
there.
into the meat and the potatoes.
Oh, that's
yet.
later.
Yeah, we're getting into the basics
beginning.
of how you guys got together and why you stayed so long. Just briefly, you stayed long because
I stayed long because I loved him.
Okay.
That's why I stayed. I wanted the marriage to work. But you know, sometimes you outgrow each other. And then I also, like I said, I wanted my son to experience family, something, a male in the household.
I mean, coming into a relationship with a young lady that was less emotional, she was raising her own situation, she was in her own situation, helping her family. When I came into the situation, I just wanted to treat her like a queen, I guess, and make sure she felt special. Because sometimes she was very clear about being with street people, and whatever that meant to her was not what it meant to me. So I felt like it was important that whatever she experienced with them, she didn't experience with me. You know, I mean, when we started dating, I mean, we had some times like people camped out the front door and wait in the cars. And we had some
really?
experiences from people that she used to date. So, oh yeah, we went through that, you know, and I was still
I remember one
focusing
time
on what God said.
I was dealing with this dude, but I stopped dealing with him on certain levels.
That's what she said.
I stopped dealing with him on certain levels. And one thing they say, you don't eat where you poop. So you don't mess with somebody in the same apartment complex. So, you know, we went to a play. This is when Medea first came out, started doing her plays.
Yes.
And he now came home. He brought me home. He say, your car look a little low. That nigga,
Ah!
that nigga done flattened my tires.
Oh, no.
He say, I'll see you later. You call me when you get out.
No, I didn't. I
Yes, you
always
did.
walked her in the house.
Pete,
That door
no,
I did.
my brothers was there. He was like, see y'all.
Oh,
It even got to the point where I had to walk to the gas station because
She had a couple stalkers. And I don't even call them stalkers. She had some situations. She had to untangle. She was entangled in some situations. And the guys didn't care nothing about me.
no, they didn't.
And they didn't care nothing about her situation. So whatever they said to her, I didn't know nothing about it. But she really protected the situation that we had. You understand? Like,
P wasn't ready.
she said, Pete, you ain't ready.
It was too much for the Pete that you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The one that you knew back then.
Mm.
But it evolved into something nice, good relationship, good marriage, one child. What keeps you guys friends?
Our son.
I
I don't like confusion.
Okay.
A lot of relationships that I had, I really didn't have no bad breakup. I just tell them it's not working for me. You know, it's not working for me. So it's time to end this. We could be cordial, and I want the best for B. I want him to be happy.
And I want the same for her. I mean,
whoever he get with, I want him to be happy. Just as long as they don't step out of pocket with my son, that's it.
I think it's a level of respect that we have for one another that keeps us friends.
Alright.
And I believe that, and we're going to have multiple conversations and we'll go deeper and stuff, but the surface part of this thing is we remain friends and we became friends. Now, every day was not easy when we initially broke up because it was tumultuous. It was a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, and I didn't want to lose my family or fail. I believe that there comes a time, even in your manhood, you want to be a provider. You want to some people, because everybody is not built for that. But for me, I wanted to provide for my family, protect my family, and make sure that they just lived a good life, And that was my motivation in working hard.
Okay.
That was my why, to make sure my family lived a good life. I looked at my mother and my father, how they were. I looked at other people. They were some great examples that I looked at earlier in my childhood, and I loved that family aspect. So I did not want to hurt the person that I married either way. Any way that I could, bring her positive energy, grow her, grow me, grow us. And that's what we really did. We grew as a family, like literally before Destin was born, Keisha supported me at a whole nother level so that I could work. She didn't bother me. Now, she did call my salon sometimes, because I had salons when I married Keisha. And she did not want, that was my mistress, was my salon, is what she said. You gonna bring it up? And she would make sure, I wasn't out so late and there was balance and they wasn't gonna take advantage of her husband or her friend first. She would come to the shop, bring me lunch, come and visit me. And they was like, that ain't the Pete they knew. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing with this? She said, y'all, and people would say, y'all look good, but are you sure? People even went to her to deter her from talking to me.
What you said about that, Keith? When the people came to you to deter you from talking to Pete.
Well, that was after I was married.
Oh,
that was after I said I did.
But like when we dated, it was fun. And that's not to take anything away from anything she experiences now with whomever she experiences. But I know when she dates people, we talk about it. That's how much friends we are. Like when people, or if she think I'm doing something and it ain't looking good, she gonna pull me up on it. She's gonna be like, this ain't, I'm hearing this, or this ain't flowing well, or check this. Because one thing she is gonna do is protect her son. Our son is like very important to both of us. So that is her main concern. How will this adverse? I mean, she was gonna be on a show. I would actually ask to be on a reality TV show, and we didn't do either show because she was concerned about the son. She didn't even go further with it. You did do some set stuff on one of them, introductory, like trailer stuff. But
so that's a good segue into the next question. How is it co-parenting and you're not together?
amazing,
Oh, it's amazing.
amazing. Like, I don't have no issues with dealing with Keisha. That the whole key is for us to stick together and not team up against each other with our son. And he's but it's the way we raised him, I believe. I believe that we raised him. I didn't hate Keisha no matter what she did. I always told my son, he has one mother. You got to respect your mother. You got to love your mother. Even if I didn't agree with what she did, love your mother. You only get one. And that's what I would put in his head. Now, on the other hand, I don't know what she said about, no.
No,
So
I'm a little bit strict.
She's the army girl.
I'm military.
Okay.
Pete's more laid back. So he has the best of both worlds. Even now, Dustin say, well, I was thinking about this, but then I heard you in the back of my head say this. So even though I was hard on Dustin, and everybody got on me for being hard on him because he wasn't that type of child, but I just wanted him to grow up and be a successful young man as he is.
But I looked at it a little different because you were raising boys. Her brothers were with her all the time. Mm-hmm. So with that, they needed a different kind of love. They needed street love. And what it took for them was different than what it took for Destin.
Right.
And that was the balancing act that we had to do. Is it plugged in? Hold on.
Is it the
Pause for station identification.
I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's. I don't know what actually happened. We're still live.
Okay.
It's still live. I apologize.
Now
we got to remove that.
What you say? Thought we had a little problem, guys.
All right.
Finishing up your story with
I was just.
Justin being not a street guy.
Justin was raised sheltered, and we come from two different worlds, but we managed to respect and understand each other's world. It's not always easy when somebody comes from this side of the track and you come from that side, and you trying to blend it together. So it was a lot of communication that we were learning, and we were young when we were young to get married. I think we didn't understand. We went to some counseling, but I mean, I don't know. We didn't really go really deep because Keisha was under the mindset that this is what I want to do or this is not what I want to do. And she felt like it was good. When I asked her to marry me, she said yes. She didn't question it. It wasn't no, let me think about it, or whenever that time came that I felt like I wanted to ask her, she was crying and overwhelmed because.
No, you was crying.
Oh, girl, we both cried.
No.
Listen.
I was shocked you was crying.
Did you say yes or no? That's the bottom line. She said yes.
I said yes.
Obviously, she said yes.
I said yes, but you was crying. I had it. The people at Moe's, they was like, oh, give him a napkin.
She was like, oh, yes. I think you liked your ring, I think.
Oh, it was big. Oh, yeah. It was big. It was clear.
Clear that he loved you. So there is going to be more
Yes.
to this. This is just the beginning
Just the beginning.
of what came from Pete and Keisha. Their marriage of 11 and how many years? 11 plus?
11
Yeah, and
11 and a half years.
And let me just say this. The reason why, I mean, we've discussed this several times over the years after the people had came to us to do shows and reality stuff. And
Now I wish I wasn't so emotional.
oh,
Because I could be like Nene.
we were asked to do so many things, but the Destin was always the key. But right now,
He grown.
he's grown. And we ain't got no reality stuff on the table. But we want to help other people. You know, there are people that have many challenges with their marriages. And as we are not married now, we can speak to being married. We can speak to being together. We can speak to being separated. We can speak to a lot of different issues that people have in marriage. Young people have in marriage. When you make a commitment to get married, you don't walk away from it. You don't leave it. You don't think it's just something I did. You have to honor those vows. And the whole thing is, with this show, with our podcast, Beyond the Surface After Dark, it is not dealing with real estate. It's dealing with real life issues.
Right.
And it'll be funny. It'll be laughs. She's a comedian. Ira definitely is fun.
No.
He's gonna ask the serious
I'm
stuff.
taking off.
Like he's gonna ask the
Wrong.
serious stuff, and the stuff is not gonna be sugar coated. And the whole thing is, it will help somebody. That's the bottom line. You know, it will help somebody, and that's what we're here for. Because there are many divorces, many young people that get married for the hype. But when you get married and you lose a parent or something happens, or, you know, how do you navigate rough waters? And that's what this is for.
So, we'll see you next time on Beyond the Surface After Dark.
After dark.
More with Pete and Keisha.
And I got to get up.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.